Man, that sucks. Just means that I gotta start over though, which I'm not worried about. It'll be fine. But I want to take a look. So let's have a look at the pop map and take a look at what the heck. Where were those zombies from? Were they from Muldra? It was like a non-stop onslaught in that area. And just so bad. I only had a couple of helis there, not even very many at all. It must have been the metas. It doesn't matter where we spawn. Alright, let's have a look. Hello. Thank you very much for the raid. You're coming in when I just died, unfortunately. Unfortunate. But hopefully you're having a good day. So I'll show you here in just a moment, but we're gonna open up the pop map and have a look, because did I just choose wrong? Or are the metas that volatile? But yes, thank you very much for the raid. Also, if you need self-care, make sure to take care of yourself. We very much appreciate. But yeah, let's have a look. Rough. And then while I'm in there, I'm actually gonna I'm gonna see how bad the metas are. Alright, so let's start by... Let's start with the, because there was one heli here. Okay. And let's see. So there wasn't that much here. But there was about 2k here that we ran into. So would it have been a wise decision to push past them? No. No, it wouldn't have. To push past them would have been not a good idea. Yeah, I just died because it was a slog. I tried my best, but I couldn't get through it at the end. So there was enough here in this immediate area to be a threat. The metas were just ridiculous, I think. Yeah, so we had about 700 there, 800 there. So you got to remember that this is 800, but only along like less than a quarter of the cell, because or like not a quarter, less than half, because there's water here. So 800 scrunched up against the shore. So roughly about 2k there. 200, but still enough that I can't really... There's no foothold there. Arguably, this area here would have been the best option. Just south of these houses. How many were down there? I tried to run through 12,000. That's rough. There's a 5,000 there. Hi, Drongo. Sorry, I've got I just died, so I do appreciate that raid. That's funny. Hopefully you had a good stream and you get yourself some self-care. But yeah, so yeah, I did the die. It was what ended me was, I'm pretty sure it was meta event. So we're going over it now just to have a look. But here, let's do a quick here, let's just do this really quick. Okay. And of course fog. So right now I'm doing a little science and I'm having a look. I'll do my little intro thing, but also, yeah, make sure to get some self-care. Sorry. I'm flustered because of the so many. I fought tooth and nail on that last life, trying not to die, and then it just So I'm a little bit like hyped up from that, and then also raid and stuff. Okay, resituate myself. Sorry, my little thingy is broken. Give me a sec, and then I'll do the intro thing, and then we'll. Well, that's there. I'm good. Oh, it was hard. Oh, it was so hard, Ultra. It really was, and Drungo and everybody. And I got beat. Let's see. Let's do this really quick. Just come on. Okay. Anyways, I'll pause for a moment. Hello and welcome. My name is Allison and I go on adventures. I enjoy tea, music, and challenging video games. I love my partner Emma, and I love frogs. My pronouns are she, her, and generally I'm pretty content. It's nice to meet the new people, and if you are returning, welcome back. Let us continue our adventure wherever it may take us. Highs and lows, ebbs and flows. We're in it together. Peace. Okay, so let's see exactly where I messed up on this one. Aside from walking into these three cells. Yeah, I was not getting through that. That was a 12k cell. It's not. Oh, there we go. Alright, let's have a look. It wasn't taking for some reason, but let's see. So Riverside was already out to play. We already seen that. So, and I already knew that going up. So Riverside was out to play. We backed off this way. Could I have gone this route? Yeah. Oh wow. So look at this. You can see the population of Phallus Lake was down to 1,500. Means that there was only a handful of zombies stuck here. The rest of it is all right here. So I just chose wrong for sure. Although, let's see. Could I have went this way? This is the question. It looks like I could have. Yeah. It would have pulled Riverside down, but I would have been leaving, so it wouldn't have mattered. I think this would have been the right play. Would have been to go up this way. And then... Let's see. Yeah. So where are these zombies from anyways? Is it just Phallus Lake? Let's teleport here. And... Come on. One pass heli. There we go. Where are you roughly 40k zombies from? Well, they're not from Muldra. There's still like a lot here. Because there's 1,500, 900. That's crazy. I don't remember there being that many there. So we're looking at like roughly 40 to 50,000 zombies just here along the beachfront. And it doesn't look like it's really from anywhere else. It's not from West Point, is it? No. West Point doesn't even look like it's been awakened, really. Let's have a look. I'm gonna see if it's this outskirt portion of West Point that got yoinked out. Yeah, there's a few missing here. Are you able to touch base? Are you able to explain what we're looking at right now? Okay, so sorry, my apologies. I'm very sorry. I just went through the ringer essentially, where I was trying to survive in like a time 16, often helis, often meta world, right? Currently I'm looking at the debug pop map just to see where the zombies are located, so that I can effectively have a better strategy next time I go. So we're gonna do another run here, but I just wanted to see where the zombies were from so that I could be like, okay, well, in the near future when we do another round, okay, the zombies are going to move in this way, so it makes it a little bit easier to understand, right? So from what I understand, you can see that you can see the dots on the map, right? These are the zombies. They clustered up because of the meta events. So the direction of the migration. Yeah, so it's essentially, it's not really the migration, more so the my pulling the zombies around the map and how I influenced it. Um and then I was trying to trace where I went wrong. Does the charade? Yes, it sort of makes a bottleneck a little bit. As you can see, they clustered up really hard right here. Um, the right move was to go down towards the golf course area. Like there's like a road that goes down to Phallus. That was the right move. Um, but unfortunately, I decided that I would try to go through this section here in hopes that I could push past them and go back to the farm areas, and then those areas would be clear because, well, there would be, all the zombies were clustered up here, right? But no, this was too thick of a wall. I couldn't get through. So but this was caused by the often meta events. So the often meta events right now are worse than the helicopter, like by a lot, like sizable amount worse. Uh but yeah, so this is the zombie pop map. This is debug mode, so that I can kind of, we can go over things and see exactly where we went wrong and or other such things. But yeah, my apologies for me being scattered. Like I said, I was there, lots of trying to survive and then failing in the end because I couldn't do it. I couldn't push through. I should have went the other way. Uh, anyways, yes, hopefully that I give a good enough understanding of what this is essentially. It the way that I was activating the cells is I'm walking around and I just turn on the helicopter. You can do it by making other loud noises. You can set engines up, or there's actually a right click option to make a world sound as well. But it's good point of reference to be able to see exactly how things are. And how does it work with the saves with the new patches? Are you eventually able to migrate them? So sort of yes, sort of no. It depends on, so for example, when you load a save to go to the next patch, it'll do a backup on its own. They added that feature in build 42. However, some saves are incompatible. Like when I did my rat race for Van Higgins was incompatible. So when I loaded it, Higgins died right away. And even though I could save him and try to update, the world itself was corrupted. So it's like the world was reset, and essentially it was bad. So there was no point to continue that run, and as a result, it was over. So I called that one and started this one. This one we're about 7 streams in. And I had hopes that we would be able to finish our leveling of a little bit further, maybe rescue our cows and then continue. But it's very much showing to me that the meta events are too aggressive. Like with just meta alone, I was moving zombies around the map in mass. Like all of the zombies in Phallus chased me out of my farmstead twice, and then they followed me around all the way to Riverside and pinned me in, forcing me to either choose to run through them or to run down the golf course road. And I picked the wrong option, which is sucky. But it is what it is. But yeah, that's rough. Which did you take? Yeah, I ended up trying to go through here. I can show you on the map. Right here. Yeah. So we can trace the what happened was we had a bunch of helicopters here, right? We had our first heli, our second heli, third, fourth, fifth was down here. So we basically bounced helis around this area, right? We had one helicopter that was up here. This helicopter is probably the one that pulled out this portion of West Point. So the 11th heli pulled it out to about here, and then 12, 13 that were down there pulled it probably to about here. But the helicopters only assisted the already often metas that existed. So, you know, the gunshots and the dog bark and those things, that's what was destroying me. Is that those were equivalent to the heli, maybe even worse because they were more common, and you can't really hear them all the time, right? So yeah, we made it to the point where we had 16 helis go off. And then, so this one pulled out Riverside. Riverside was pulled out to about there, blocked my path. So what we should have done is go down this road. This road would have been the best option. Although the golf course would have been a bit of a bother there. Most of Phallus Lake was clear, so I would have been able to reestablish over here somewhere, maybe rest for a bit and keep fighting. But yeah, no, pinpoint, so pinpoint hearing is rough, but there's a reason why when the rat race was being created with its settings that metas were taken off the table. It's because, well, I mean, I can give an example, maybe. Here, we'll do an area of the map that I haven't activated yet. Let's go down to here. Let's see when it happens. Can you play metas with this? I don't think you can. But I don't know. I don't know my way all the way around this this menu. Yeah. Oh, there we go. That was one gunshot meta. I'm gonna see if it actually... It's not activating anything yet. Hey, there's a gunshot meta. Another gunshot meta. Seem to be. It's pulling the zombies all across the cell. Hmm. Ultra's asking because she should stick to the meta stuff. Uh, okay. So the meta stuff is not different from 4212 to 4213 if you're playing Pinpoint Hearing. So they're very similar. Hmm. Apologies if I'm disjointed. I'm trying to think of if I'm what I'm going to do in terms of this. I might just shut off metas entirely then. Because it's either I'm gonna have metas or I'm gonna have helis. But helis seem more because you can plan for them. Meanwhile, I think the meta events are the issues. So you don't think the meta events have changed? The meta events themselves haven't changed, but their effect on the world map, I think, is I think it's worse. What is with this chopper? Why does it demand to be here? Hmm. It's not activating more than the area at the moment. It's because I'm fast forwarding a bunch though through it. Yeah, that's the problem as well. When you're testing stuff like this, fast forward can really ruin part of this stuff. Because you need to it needs to happen naturally. Because then as you'll see it stutter everything when it actually is loading a bunch of cells around. Yeah, it does mess with the zombie AI, which is the problem. Uh, yeah, I think that's something that I'm going to do then. Yeah. All right. Well, so that's what we'll do. We'll I'm gonna adjust the settings and we'll see. Because I think the metas are the big problem. I don't mind keeping it often helis though. That's fine. Let's take debug off. Yeah, Rat knows his way around the debug menu far better than I do. But yeah, I think I'm fairly certain it was the metas that were pulling things around in that way. Like the helicopter would activate the cells, and then the metas would yoink them around. Okay. 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 0, 2. Yeah, because I don't mind most of these settings. They're fine. Yeah, I think this setting right here is was the big one that screwed me. Well, that and the pinpoint hearing, but pinpoint hearing's fun. I like that one. Plus, we started with normal hearing zombies. They were only pinpoint hearing for 1 month. Oh, that's something I forgot to mention. Yeah, so for the 4 months that I was alive there in that playthrough, they were pinpoint hearing zombies for 1 month. So that was 1 month of just like of them shuffling themselves around. I feel it had to be the metas. Like, yeah, the helicopter does yoink quite a bit of zombies, but not like that. It doesn't do that to the map. And yes, there is a distribution and a migration thing where, yes, it tries to kind of balance the cells that you are around the player, but that's not balance, not throw 12k zombies in one spot. It doesn't, you know? And those 12k zombies were moved from pretty far away. So it's like, yeah, that's not how that works. What do you I think changed? I think because the way that cells are activated changed, and the way that cells were supposed to deactivate changed. So I think that's something to do with it. We were noticing it in the debug menu just earlier when I was fast forwarding. Sometimes it just did not activate cells at all. Sometimes it did. Sometimes it activated a lot of cells. And also there is it's not a bug, but it's like there's a sound like strangeness that increases the volume of certain sounds. And I think it can hit onto the metas as well. I think it can activate on all sounds in the game, which means that you can have sounds that are like really, really loud for no reason, pulling way larger distances than they're supposed to. And because metas are so common, that the metas can be affected. And that's, I think, what's being caused is that the meta is now. Once again, it would take a delve in debug to figure it out, because while activating the meta events and specifically that sound effect, I don't know what causes it, but it seems like when the game stutters or something, and it just makes a sound way louder than it's supposed to be. It happens in combat too. You'll notice it in combat where you'll sometimes be pulling way more zombies than you would expect, because it's kind of like a crit effect that's not working correctly, right? Because a crit effect kind of makes sense that it would make a louder noise, sort of, but I don't know. It's just it feels like something's broken there. So for right now, I'm gonna take metas off. I don't think that the multiplayer sound thing exists in single player, but I did notice when I picked up a log that it made a really loud sound effect that pulled in a bunch of zombies. So that's picking up debris and foraging, right? But anyways, so I'm gonna take off meta. I'm gonna take off meta events for right now. We'll leave helicopters on often. Everything else can stay the same. It's just for right now. We'll remove metas because I think that that's causing the majority of the issues. And we'll return. No, not platinum. We'll do fix it frog. We gotta take off unfit and put back on slow metabolism so that our stuff is all settled. Yeah, I think something's happening there that's causing a sound effect to be louder than it's supposed to be, and as a result, it's shifting zombies in ways that are not... I don't think it's intended, but once again, it's anybody's guess, right? All right, let's go. But yes, I once again I apologize for being kind of scattered on the raid and stuff. I do very much appreciate you, Drongo, and everybody that came in, and like I appreciate you all. I just the timing. uh, well played. Okay. I'll have to look into it more. It's definitely something that we'll have to look into, because there's science to be done there, and I know that Twist did science on it at one point. He was poking around and showed that sounds were not like were being weird. For you want to do 4-4-4-1, and then you turn off respawn. Yeah, so 4-4-4-1. Here you could if you there's a settings thing here. I'm gonna update this to include no metas, because so I'm gonna change this link eventually, but I do click on the advanced so you can see the numbers in that video. But yeah, I'd recommend turning off metas for right now. Maybe even consider turning down migration, but at the same time, migration, it's not the worst part of things. Yeah. Okay, let's get our time 16 back on. Can I pick this up? You weigh 7. But if I equip you as my primary, I can run around with a chair. Okay. That is... Go. I could turn off that noise thing as well, but it's fine. All it does is make little lines around everything. It's not like we're running out of zombies. Also gives me a little path out, which is nice. Yeah. I don't like doing that too often, but it is fun when your frame rate's like this. That was another way I might have been able to get through the 12k zombies, but it's yeah. Yeah, so 4-4-4-1. Backyard. Oh no! What happened there? Oh, it dropped the chair. I might try turning off that VORRE noise as well. Why do you set peak to day 1? Because then you have the peak population on day 1. So there is no scaling, it just is peak pop. So here, I'll go over the settings right now. Rank 0-3. So the settings would be well, I do 1 hour days because I like them better. You do insane pop because this number up here is your indoor zombies. So insane pop for this will be your inside zombies. We'll shut that off, I guess. So down here in this settings, you go 4 is the maximum. 4, 4, 1. You could also like it yeah, so it's gonna be times 4, and then the peak number would be also times 4. So that just mean that it doesn't mean it's multiplied, 4 times 4 times 4. No, it's only one number because this number scales into this number, and because they're the same, there's no scaling, right? So its starting multiplier is 4, its peak multiplier is 4. That means it's 4 times 4, 16. Does that make sense? And then peak day 1. So there we go. And then I've got it set to insanely rare loot. Generators doesn't ever really matter all that much because there's a lot of place generators on the map. But, you'll also find lots of them anyways. Water's off right away. I like basements on always just because then you'll always see the basements where they are. You're wondering if there's some deeper reason? Not really. You could set the peak population day as high as a year if you want, and then it would just scale this number gradually into this number over the course of a year. But if you started on 4 times 4, it doesn't matter what you put in the peak day. Most folks will just put 1, but if they're already the same, this one's irrelevant. But so you could have this one on 28, you could have it on 1, doesn't matter. But just for niceness, you put it on 1.
You're amazing.
Yeah. Let's see. Most of this stuff is just normal. No survivor vehicles, though. But I think that means that they're, even though there's no survivor vehicles, I've seen some really nice vehicles in events, so maybe the event spawn vehicles are still pretty good? Okay, this time we turned off the Vororoy noise or whatever, so that there shouldn't be any. There's no holes now, essentially. Vororoy noise. Okay, and third time's the charm, hopefully. My third run was my PB in the original Bloodbank. So I died twice in the initial, and then my personal best is my third run. So let's maybe return to form. But yeah, if I missed any questions or anything, you feel free to ask again. I try my best, and it just I still feel kind of bad that the raid came in at that moment when I've already it's just bad timing for me. Or good timing, I guess. You get to see me at my flustered. I just feel bad about it a little. Oh, cool. We're by the school. I like being by the school. It's a nice start. Time to go. We're like crowd surfing. Let's go, indeed. I wonder if there's Alright, we should be able to just walk out of here. Rest in peace, first run. I'm sorry that you died that way. I should have went the Gulf Coast route. I've been there before and I know better, but yeah. I thought that it would, that we could break through, and I thought wrong. I don't think I can ask for a better run than that first run though, with the cows and the sheep and all that. That was pretty good RNG. There, that's where I want to be. So we are just shy of this area, which will then go down that way and be basically going to the same spot. Because I want to see if there are major differences caused by the having that Voronoi noise is off. So far, every house has quite a few. Not a bad thing. Yeah. Pigs. They won't be alive, unfortunately, by the time we get back to them. Hello, cow. They don't eat grass? They can eat grass if they're not loaded in. And when they load in, they will frantically be underweight and, or not underweight, hungry and thirsty and not able to sate both at the same time. Usually they'll just die. It's, plus they'll be stressed out because of the zombies. Something similar happened to my animals. I'd left them for like a couple of in-game weeks, and they we lost a cow and we lost a oh, what else did we lose? It was a cow and oh, and one of the sheep. But animals are a little strange as it is. They function oddly. Yeah, I don't think I can rescue those cows. Okay, for these. Actually can't carry this stuff. I'm pretty sure we can't go here, but I'm still gonna look. It'd be too much to ask if the game gave it to us again. Yeah, I didn't think so. Open. Pencil. Annotated. Just gonna put some things here for right now. Oh. You can take one sip of water, it doesn't really hurt you that much. As long as you're not like spending too much time near corpses or anything, which we're not going to for a little while. I did that thing where I didn't equip a belt again. Oops. It's just a style choice. It's just an accident, a happy accident, because it means that my first belt has to be earned every time. It's just awkward, but you know, it's fine. Not a big deal. The game often rewards me with random belts, so. I'm gonna go back and we're gonna use the... I unlock the doors. Oh, real? Yeah, the animals, they will eat grass if you're nearby. Similar to the zombies, they get animations when you're close by. They're supposed to enter a sort of a stasis when you're not around, but it's weird. Because they kind of sometimes don't get fed, sometimes don't drink, but sometimes they're fine. It's strange. Because I've left cows in an Apocalypse playthrough in early versions of Build 42 for months. I left them there for months at the bus depot. When I came back, they were fine. They were a-okay. But just recently, I left a cow and a sheep behind. Well, I left all the animals behind, and some of them were dead when I came back. So it's like, I don't know. I don't know what's causing that. It could be stress. That I don't know. Let's tilt this back. No, but maybe the animal zones are deactivate if you're too far away, or no, they shouldn't though, right? But then again, if I open up my animal zones right now, right? And animals will leave if they're stressed, thirsty, or zombies are nearby, right? And this is time 16, and there were zombies nearby those animals. So it certainly makes me wonder. I don't know. Animals are just such an anomaly, and they're so weird. You need a place that's safe for them. But obviously, having a place that's safe for them early on is not going to happen in a time 16 playthrough, right? So you're just without animals in the beginning, at least. Well, sort of. You can have bunnies. You can't have sheep, you can't have cows, can't have pigs. Not unless you can somehow manage to squeeze them into the area that I had before. And then I still think that metas were the big problem, though. That if I didn't have metas on, that the helicopters wouldn't even have pulled as hard as they did. That's not to state that the helicopters are insignificant, because they are. They are powerful. It's just, you know, they're meant to be sort of a big moment, right? They're not. It's a big moment's happening now, and then there's some residual after effect, and then that's it. Yeah, I think that's probably the combination of both was just a bit too much. Once you have a foothold, though, I think it doesn't matter. Once you're in a good spot. Yeah. But that's like 40k into the run. Thank you for the wellness. Frog noise. We'll see with this one, because if the metas are off and it doesn't do quite the same thing, we'll do the same. I'll keep the same. I like 3 months in or so. I'll put on pinpoint hearing, and we'll see. If it's the same, then clearly, then that means that it's not. Then the metas have no effect. But I don't think that that's going to be the case. Maybe I'll head North Palace this time, like right away. And have them push me out. And we'll go a different place after. This area looks completely different with no zombies in it. Is this a completely different place? Different time. So peaceful. My goodness. It's the most peaceful place ever. Hey, there's bunnies. Be my friend. Still my hat. Ribbit. Where exactly are we? Oh, this isn't a bad spot. We'll set up here. Switch that. I'll see if I can nick a chair from the north area as well. So that'll help out. This, that, this. A rock nearby? Maybe it was the other way. Can't really forage right now without it being too dark. Oh. Brutal. Did I restart? No, I died because I got overwhelmed and I chose the wrong direction to go. Hindsight's 2020 on it, I guess. I should have went along a different road, but it's okay. It happens. That's a lot of Zams. Yeah, that's it seems like that's how it's gonna be for right now. I'm not expecting us to really get a foothold anywhere. I just wanted to have a look at some of these areas. Oh yeah, I can't eat that. Yeah, proper fighting attire. Although I don't know if I want to fight right now. We'll see. Hello. Oh wow. Thank you very much for the subscription. 28 months. That's a long time. That's like more than 2 years. It's like 2 years and some change. Do very much appreciate. Yeah, hopefully you're enjoying your ad previewing and you're using frog emotes. You know, it's been a long time. Crazy to me. Has been, yeah. Common mallow, nice. Rivets all around indeed. I'm just having a look over here. Okay. I just wanted to come over here and see. You can see that that it's there's quite a lot less zombies, right? Overall. Makes sense, though. It's an interesting comparison. That's the big reason why I walked all this way, is because I'm not in a huge rush. Got a little bit of foraging levels as well. But it just to see the contrast difference between the playthrough we just had and a fresh world. There's just nothing in these spots yet. But yeah, that's some crazy movement on the zombies. You will watch? I guess they all turned off pinpoint hearing? Maybe. I don't mind pinpoint hearing, and I probably will turn it back on at the same point, 3 months, just to see the contrast. It's not the pinpoint hearing, though, that was the biggest problem, although it partly was. Like, kind of. It was definitely on the list of problems, but I'm the biggest offender was the metas in combination with the helis. The helis activated the cells, and then the metas pulled more zombies than they were intending to pull. So they ended up really messing with my map. So I still think there's something wrong. Something's off with sounds. That there's some kind of loud noise multiplier that is not working as intended. But that's something that would require deep diving. That's probably the big one that's causing problems for people. Not counting the multiplayer stuff, like, you know, with the odd zombies chasing the player or whatever. Because I believe folks, you know, why would they? I know Twist's seen that there was some kind of weird interaction with sound, and that also Rhett's seen it as well. And I've seen it, I just don't know how would I go about reporting that? It's just, it's an odd interaction where sound just multiplies. And then when you're already utilizing, like, even the normal hearing zombies hear stuff from way longer than they're supposed to. It's notable in combat most, but you can notice it with everything. The reason why combat's the easiest thing to spot it in is because you attack a lot, right? So when there is an extra sound on top, it's notable. But I'm pretty sure that that sound effect multiplier can apply to any sound in the game. Meaning it could apply to your footsteps, it could apply to the helicopter. It can apply to everything. The worst offender that I remember from Rat Race was engines. It could apply to engines and pull basically the whole map. Yeah, it's weird. I don't know. It's beyond my understanding in the game, for sure. I'm still thinking about where I want to be in this playthrough right now. But I am taking it still, like I'm trying not to die in the playthrough, obviously. But I'm just casually having a look around the map as well. Maybe I'll go to Coalfield and grab one of those water bottles. Yeah, we'll definitely do that same thing again, where we'll have the pinpoint hearing activated on what was it, 3 months, 13 days? 3 months, 10 days? Something like that. Is this the right one? No, this is the golf course. Coalfield's way the heck over here. I don't know why I thought I was going there.
You are amazing!
Well, thank you very much for the follow. Do appreciate. This is to the campsites, isn't it? Yeah. I could go looking over here, but I don't think that these are gonna have openings. be in this playthrough. Hmm. Let's go north to this house first. I'm guessing that this is overrun, but we'll have a look. Yeah, don't even need to go over there. It's kind of fun just wandering around the map while we have our Our extra weight. We're passively gaining strength as well, by the way. See? We've gained 750 strength just walking around. Because, so long as you keep your encumbrance above 50%, you gain strength. And that's not hard to do. Because everybody likes loot. We could try this house over here, but I don't expect it's going to be any different than anywhere else. It's probably going to be teeming. We could get the zombies out of it. This is on the edge of Phallus, though, so it's a little bit of a risky place to be. But that also means that we can use the helicopter to pull Phallus early. Oh. I don't see a survivor zombie in that group. We'll pull this one and see if they have a watch. Nope. Gotta watch. Yeah, I think we just bail. I gotta watch. That's what I wanted from these zombies. It's a house alarm, isn't it? Or is that a car alarm? Sounds like a house alarm. Well, anyways. Well, I worked harder for my watch than that one that was just given to me. Yeah, still no belt. That's okay though. Belts happen eventually. Oops. I mean, I probably should at least... Oh. Oh, there's gasoline in this one. I thought the black marker would be the same as the pencil, and it's not. So see how it doesn't equip as a weapon? The pencil equips as a weapon, which means if I smash this window with the pencil, it won't hurt me. But I didn't realize that the black marker didn't equip as a weapon. Oh, it's okay though. Not a big deal. It's just a scratch. We'll heal it back almost immediately. Not if we eat those poison mushrooms. Yeah, if you equip any weapon, you can take glass out of windows, right? It doesn't even need to be a weapon. You can use like everything for removing glass from windows. You can use your keychain. You can use anything that's equipable. But smashing the windows, it's got to be a weapon. Otherwise, it hurts you. This is fun. A fun little trek around. It's not for no reason either. It's for foraging mostly. And also just to kind of decide where I want to be in the run. Because we can go in lots of places. Just did a huge loop. Yeah, it is. It's because a lot of the actions in the game are like that. Almost all of the actions get a reduced chance because you got to remember that it's skipping time, right? So it's not getting as many ticks off. So that's why. It's same for everything. Fishing, all of it. It doesn't receive the maximum amount of ticks that it could be getting. Same for starting fires. You should almost never, if you're trying to start a fire, don't fast forward it, because it burns exertion for no reason, and it sometimes won't even start the fire. Sometimes it won't even break the stick. It'll just like burn all your exertion for no reason. But yeah, it's because the fast forward options are meant to speed up some of the more boring actions. It's not really meant to be used for a lot of things. Yeah, and it breaks their AI, yeah. It's just like closing the game. If you close the game after a helicopter, it will essentially shut off the cells that the helicopter had just turned on. Same for foraging. If you close the game and reopen it, the foraging resets. So you can kind of get more foraging out of the area if you start out, like restart. Of course, I don't do that intentionally. I restart usually around the 5 or so hour mark because Zomboid also has a memory leak. Like most games have memory leaks. So it ends up starting to act up around that point. Around the 4 to 5 hour mark is generally where I notice Zomboid starting to really chug and have issues. But yeah, it's a good idea that you should restart your game every 4 to 5 hours. Yeah, I'm doing a little bit of foraging, but also still sort of choosing where I want to start. One of those moments where I'm kind of on the fence a little still. We can also just go straight through here because there's no zombies in this area at the moment. See? And just like that, we did a cyclical loop. Back to where I started. Yeah, I want to take on West Point, so we'll probably cycle around still, because it's not going to be as aggressive now that we shut off metas. But it'll still be aggressive. I mean, it's times 16 with helicopters on often, so it's like it's still just it's gonna be the zombies are gonna be a little bit more predictable. Yeah, Hustle's a good song. That threw me for a loop that last round, and now I'm finally kind of calmed down a little from oh, just that whole scene. It's so. The thing is, and I guess maybe I didn't express it well at the time. I ran from here. Where is it? I ran from here, right? Up all the way this way, decided that I couldn't do it anymore, and then ran all the way down this way, down here, and then we died here. And each of these cells had like 5k plus zombies in them. So it's like weaving through horde after horde after horde, hoping that there would be an end. And I technically wasn't wrong. There was an end. The end of the zombie like cluster there was like here. So if I could have managed to somehow push through those 12k zombies that were in this one cell, we would have made it to the road. There would have been still quite a lot of zombies there, and then still, this road was basically clear. I should have taken this road. But hindsight's 2020, you know? It was a fun little trip. So we just walked all the way around and came back. This is healed. No. A little bit longer. Almost healed. Okay, so what do I need here? Actually, I need this. Oh, did it use up the bandage? Oh, darn. Sucks. Yeah. Just curls up on the ground and sleeps. I mean, we could have slept in the car for a little bit of a better sleep, but... eh. And then I have to deal with claustrophobia, and... it's fine. This is a good place to get food. Because this is a forest, or not forest, a farm. Farmland. So there'll be food here for sure. I should be able to get some more rags here in a moment as well. Police officers usually have a belt. Yep. So we got a brand new jacket, and we also got a belt. So that's all I'm taking from them for right now. We'll head back. Okay. Put that on the ground for a moment. And same for you. Go. There for time being. Get a good nap in. Oop, wrong way. Keep going with foraging for now. We'll get fishing soon. There we go. It's a good spot, kind of, to start, but I expect it's not going to stay good forever. This is the big one that I was looking for, actually. Now that we've sort of started to establish, dogbane hemp is huge. Hmm? Oh, oops. That's ambient noise, isn't it? Hmm. The ambient noise is so weird sometimes. There is no boar, and yet there's pigs, but there's no boars. I guess you could have wild pigs. And could you imagine if there was wolves in this game? It'd be like the long dark. Yeah, using this we can make twine. Can't even have that on there. Strength anyways. We're about to level it up. Nice. Okay. Notch plank. I'm not quite done with that. Next, we need 3 stones. We do this to get our exertion up because I can't light the fire with no exertion. That was a fairly good fish for my fishing level. How do you stream for so long without ever getting up? What do you mean? I totally take breaks and get up and refill my tea and stretch, and you guys wellness check me all the time. I I I do get up. I do go in AFK and get snacks sometimes, and sometimes I get hyper focused though, and that helps, I guess. ADHD has you know, it's beneficial, but it's also it's not so good either as well, because you know, it's not good to hyper focus like that. I can't help it though. But I do get my rest in, so don't worry. Don't worry too much. I do it's 2 to 3 times this stream of this length. But I also, due to having died recently, I want to get reestablished, and then we'll be good for next time, kind of thing. I know that we've got our the hightail thing that is coming out on Tuesday. But we've also, you know, I do want to get this run off the ground, and I want it to be a proper tribute. I don't want it to be me dying in the beginning, which is how I see that. I know 4 months is, you know, long for some, but it's the run barely started in my mind. I'm not trying to sell out, sell down other people's accomplishments, though. If you know, if you make the, if you're on your personal best and you're 4 months in, that's good. It's just my, like, comparatively to my personal best. I actually haven't seen my personal best in ages. Not even close. I've made it halfway, but could be nice to get back up there. There's a zombie. Hey there. Why are you here? Hey Cherry, how goes? Are you having a good day? That's good. I'm glad. Am I? I'm having a pretty good day outside of the death that just happened a little while ago. I mean, I'm a little disappointed with my direction that I took, but at the end of the day, I went the way I went, so it happens. The a little disappointed, not like it's not shattering my world. I can die in this game just like everyone can. Yeah. And hindsight's 2020. The only regret I have is that I couldn't quite put things into the right words because I was well, I mean, I just died and trying to explain. I feel like I messed it up and I fumbled through it real bad. Because yeah, but it's okay. That's life. Sometimes you fumble, sometimes you trip, sometimes you fall. But it's okay. Yeah, it makes me feel good about failure too, because you know you get through and that's your character's story, right? I mean, I did learn something new. I learned. I'm pretty sure that metas were the problem, but we'll have to see. I'm gonna see if this current run, like, we're going to test it out a little bit. Um, because I'm gonna be following essentially the same path, kind of, sort of. I mean, I walked around more in this one, so technically those cells have already been activated. But hey, we'll have to wait and see. Do you know who it was? Oh yeah, it was Shiva's PR. So actually, the record was broken twice. So the record was first broken by Twist on Fire, who is a German streamer that after he broke the record, he uh, he retired his character so that Chivas could break the record next. So here, this is Twist. Twist is currently he retired his character so that he could work on mods because he does a bunch of mods. Yeah, it's really nice of him. Also, like, I mean, so he hit his million. He got 1 million zombies killed. A little bit. I think he got like a extra one or two, but you know, a million was the record. And then Shivas, who I'll shout out next here in a second, is the current Zomboid record holder with 1 million. And last I checked, it was 1,004,000. Because he's actually trying to clear Louisville, like the whole thing now. Because he cleared the rest of the map for the most part. And he might actually try to complete the rat race, like the actual other parts of the rat race, which would be a perfect character and 13 outposts that are all around the map. I could see him actually beating the rat race, like Twist could have also beat the rat race, but Twist only really cared about the kill number. He didn't really care about the other objectives at all. And I hope he does too. There's a couple other people that are still doing their rat race runs, which is why and the other members of the leaderboard team are diligently still updating the leaderboard for the rat race, even though I myself am no longer doing the rat race at this time. I've moved on to doing this one as well as some other games that I'm going to be playing here in the near future. Because, well, my rat race ended. So, because I could play on Legacy to continue it, but I don't really want to do that. I want to move forward. I don't want to stay on the Legacy. So Shivas. There we go. I gotta wait 10 seconds and then I'll shout out Shivas. So these are the two people that started the Million Club. Twist on Fire started the Million Club, and Shivas BR is, current record holder. Which is really cool. Lamprey got close. He was super duper close with 954,000. But yeah, these two are behemoths in Zomboid. For sure. And I figure that record will probably hold. Shivas, once Shivas is wrapped that one, it'll hold for a while. Because getting to 1 million took almost an entire year and change. So like a little bit before a year, because the rat race was started in, I can't remember if it was February or March, but it was so almost a full year of gameplay to get to that point. And Shivas didn't really deviate from Zomboid very much. He played a little bit of variety here and there, but mostly he did Zomboid. Twist on Fire and Shivas both speak English, but Twist on Fire is a German streamer, and Shivas BR is a Brazilian streamer, just so that folks have an understanding. But if you were to go in there and like wave at them and speak in English, they do speak English too. So it's some nuggets of thought. I really like those two. They're really great. And I continue to do the whole unofficial lore keeper. It's an old habit at this point. I've been doing it for a long time. And I have intentions of doing up another scoreboard at some point for Build 42 once it reaches stable. But it's one of those things where when time comes, right? I'm not in a rush. And stable will come when it comes. And then we can expect to see stuff like Rat Race 2.0, SKC 2.0, and a bunch of other really cool challenges that people create. And then there's mods that haven't even been conceptualized yet that will probably appear here in the near future. So I'm looking forward to when that happens. We'll see. What's SKC? SKC is Beaten Buzzers Challenge, actually. It took him quite a long time to beat the Saving Knox County Challenge, but Buzz created a really awesome challenge where you start in a 16 times Louisville, right? And you have to leave Louisville, burn down points of interest around the map, and then return to Louisville and burn down 3 more points of interest. And there was a percentage of burn that had to happen on the building before it was counted as completed. It took Buzz a very long time to complete the challenge because he had some struggles, whether it was issues like with what happened to Martha, which was just so many amazing characters and stories that went into it. But eventually Buzz did end up beating the challenge with Brendan O'Shea. So here, shout out for Buzz, because Buzz. 1 second. Because Buzz is amazing too. Absolutely fantastic streamer. And he plays lots of other stuff too, not just Zomboid. He does like 7 days challenges and all sorts of cool challenges. He did like a carpenter challenge in 7 days that was really, really cool, where he built like a mansion. And he does stuff like that usually, like his 2-year challenge for Build 42, except Build 42 has been kind of unstable, right? Because that's what it is. It's an unstable build, and as a result, there's been some difficulties and troubles for a lot of folks. But I still really like 42 better than I like 41, even with all of its jank and strangeness. It's still my favorite out of the as things progress, it's only going to get better. So, you know, at least that's how I see it. And hi, by the way. Yeah, he burned down quite a lot of stuff, and there was like lore behind it too. They like had a whole lore that like the Finnegan research facility was where the Nox virus originated, and like there was all this lore. It was really cool that he created. Kind of like my Z-Bay challenge a little bit, but Z-Bay was inspired by Buzz's challenge. The inspiration for Buzz's challenge, Z-Bay was a mixture of Wickhammer's Insurgent challenge mixed with a little bit of SKC, mixed with mods that were incorporated from the Bloodbank server that we were playing on, the Time 16 with Respawn server. And then on top of that, I threw on Z-Bay, which was a really fun mod where you could like order in packages from like the computer. And sometimes they scammed you and they would send you rocks. It was funny. I really liked that mod. You'd like, oh look, discount katana. I pay, you know, $15 and get a katana. And then you open up your package and it's a rock. You're like, oh. It made me laugh. I really like that. There was one time though, I ordered 10 sledgehammers for like $1 each. So it's $15 for 10 sledgehammers or something. Or no, it'd be 10 for, it was $10 for 10 sledgehammers. And they actually sent me the sledgehammers. Like I got 10 sledgehammers. Like, it was cool. But then that area got overrun and I couldn't get the sledgehammers back. Because it was bad. Because, well, we were playing on Time 16, right? And that's generally how I play anyways. I always play Time 16. So even like most of the time, there's a lot of struggle bus. And you got to get a run going. But that's okay. That's part of the game, right? It's part of the fun. You enjoyed my 7 days series? Really? That was a long time ago. Like, not last year, but it was like, it was not last July, but the year before that, because I did it for my birthday. Yeah, you have been around for a while. We're old. It's fun being old. But yeah, that was unfortunately that was before I learned how to splice the highlights in the right way to upload them. So my entire 7 days collection got deleted from Twitch. And I made one of every item of every quality. And it took forever. The amount of glue, duct tape, and cloth I've seen in that game is beyond like one of every item of every quality. It took a month to do. And I also maxed out the character and like I pretty much tapped out 7 days, at least at that point in time. Yeah, my checkpoint base was really cool. And it took a couple of tries before I got that, but then that was it. And it was permadeath. I didn't die once in that playthrough. I was good. If I had died, I would have deleted and started again, because that's you know, permadeath is fun. I like playing that way. You learn the most when the consequences are high. I just want to have a peek over here for a second. How many of you are there? All right. Recoup. You've been tinkering with 7 Days Rebirth mod? Yeah, there's been a bunch of mods for that game, huh? I've never played modded 7 Days. They have 3 game modes? You think it's like, yeah, I'd like the challenge? Alright, well, I mean, 7 Days is one of those games where I've been waiting a little bit until Tower says it's in a state that I would probably like. So, if you're saying that it's good, then I might add it to my list. So we're about to get level 1 strength off of combat. This is what I was waiting for, by the way. July 17th. Edit. There we go. Move that there. Okay, I am curious though. So that's first heli. Which means now all the zombies are gonna be like moving and spaced and... So, fun fact about the positioning of that heli is that hopefully I'll be able to have a look at the interior of that barn. But I don't actually think well... Oh. Not a huge surprise that they all see me. Let's go this way. So I can have a look inside. It's not as clear as I'd want it to be. How's the helicopter? It's been fairly good, outside of the time where I died. But, I mean, you know, we're good. We start again. We adjusted settings a little bit. I'm gonna have to put that in the settings thing. Like, I'll probably change which one we're using. I wanted to update that video anyways. This seems about right. It's gonna be a little while before we're able to take on this crew, but this does feel right. It doesn't feel wrong, it feels like it's the right amount of zombies. So I could choose to go up this way, or we could choose to go this way. We've already been this way before. I know what to expect this way. Or what I should be able to expect. We'll find out. Yeah. There we are. All right. All right. Let's see. So where are we at anyways? So I bailed from this area because I know that this is going to be a problem now because we've got quite a bit of friends in here. Remember, before this area was actually fairly clear, it took us like a few thousand kills. Like it wasn't going to be clear right away. So I need to work on my character just a little bit. We don't have the added benefit of having the cows and stuff in the beginning, which is fine. I don't need that. We should be able to power ourselves up with fitness and then a little bit of fishing is the plan. So fishing and fitness. I expect this is going to be dangerous as well, but they may actually have gone over this way a little bit, but probably not. The distance on a helicopter when it's not pinpoint hearing is a lot less, so it's like smaller. So we don't have to worry about it pulling as hard. But this is about as much as I would expect. So yeah. Go. Okay, so that unfortunately is where I'm going to wrap it up for now. And we will pick this up tomorrow. Or well, later today technically, but you know, that's based on time zones and other such things. Let's see. Alrighty. Yeah. So let's rate out, make somebody else's day a little bit better. Let's see. Oh, absolutely. Appreciate it. I post my socially stuff, I guess. These are the places I post when I go live, so Discord. I went that one. Let's see. Quite a lot of folks that we could raid into. We'll go raid into Molly though. Molly's doing something in Irvington. There you go. You guys can go hang out with Molly. It's been my pleasure as always. I will see you guys next time. Ta for now.